Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
Welcome. I'm not on the right screen. Come over here. Touch that. There we go. Welcome in to yet another Thursday night show. I'm sick. Sorry about all that. My phone's going off over here because I was trying to share the live stream. Goodness gracious. We just need to restart everything. Welcome into Thursday night Cheap Talk, the best, greatest live stream on Thursday you're ever going to be around. I do want to say a big welcome to Mac Bergson, Fireborn, Charles Adamson, the man, the myth, the legend, Gary Brooks, another Gary, the Gary Zanstra, Banker John Ronald Smith, Dan Burns, Jim Gerstek, Bob Ellis, Matt Brugger, Widowback Cigars. Welcome to the show. How you doing this evening? My man Rick Carroll holding it down from up north. Hope you're doing well. Jay Bates with the "Hey you guys." Supremo Tobacco. What is going on? Welcome into the show. Before we do get started, first off, I want to say a big welcome and thank you to Drew Estate for making sure that Cheap Talk comes to you every single week, bringing you these wonderful slow jams, the camaraderie of the chat, the fun back and forth of Bob the Cigar Guy and myself here on the show, and any guests we have in the future. Thank you, Drew Estate, for making sure that this show is possible. Come on over here and drop this music down completely to a zero, just like that. Come back over here and welcome in Bob the Cigar Guy. Welcome into the show. How are you doing this evening?
Hello, everybody out there in Radio Land. My computer says, looks like your mic was unplugged. Plug it back in or select a different mic.
Don't worry about that because your microphone is plugged into my computer, and we don't have to worry about the microphone plugged into your computer because you're running all through my system. Also, I want to say right here at the 5-minute mark, we are at 22 people. So that is all 14 episodes this year of 20 plus concurrent viewers. Also, know that we are on a 7-count streak of 30 plus at one time across both platforms. So we're going to continue to push and see if we can get that 30 number again this week. Got up to 36 last week. We're getting so close to hitting that 40 number. Maybe start counting the 40 numbers on the year. I want to know before we do get started into the show, 1, how has your week been? 2, what are you smoking? And 3, what are you drinking? I am finishing off the Solita Red Rojo from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. I smoked it once last week, enjoyed it, but didn't pay enough attention to it. And I told myself I wanted to smoke it again before I gave my full opinion on it. I forgot to take one home with me last week. The first time I've been over here to remember to grab one was today. I was actually over here Sunday and forgot to grab it. So I'm over here today, grabbed it, took some photos. They'll be up on the Instagram
Did
tomorrow.
I still have the box hidden up under my?
No, it was
under my okay.
No, I found it.
You found it?
I found it.
I didn't mean to hide it. I'm not saying that, but it just happened to be under my desk.
But in between last week and this week, the mountains have been set on fire, and we have been dealing with just some awful wildfire smoke across our area.
It's crazy.
And then the pollen has been out of control. Obviously, this time of year, pollen is crazy. We haven't had a lot of rain, so there's nothing to wash it down. And so my allergies have kicked in. Now, thankfully, I am much better than I was 2 days ago and yesterday. There was a chance that I was going to not do tonight's show because of my sinuses and the drainage and all that stuff. But after my second day of medicine and feeling a lot better today, being able to breathe out of my nose and taste things, I can say, hey, we're doing Chief Talk tonight. So whether it's a full Chief Talk or not, I don't know. I definitely don't want to mess myself up and give myself a sinus infection. If I do give myself a sinus infection, I will not do a show next week because I am not going to do a sinus infection for a week, reinfect myself next week, because sinus infections and cigars for me just don't go together well.
Sick chief is not a happy chief either, and I don't want to.
And I do not want to go
like
into PCA having just recovered from a sinus infection and then get a sinus infection again while at PCA or prolong the sinus infection. So hopefully tomorrow when I wake up, I'm feeling great. Take my medicine. We're in the clear by next week. If we don't have a show next week, I'll let you all know. Because I want to have a show next week because the week after that will be at PCA. Oh, man. So, let's see. Matt Berger says, huge thanks to everyone who turned into my friend's show Monday night to see Bob the Cigar Guy chat with the guys on How About That Cigar. That's right. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. Matt Berger's having a catastrophic failure. Ooh, a little Pausani action going on. Charles Adamson is smoking a Monte Cristo Platinum. Banker John's enjoying a Jeremy Sears Hold Fast Maduro just released. I saw Tim Swanson put out a video on that. Something's wrong with the Lounge Boys. I can tell Gary didn't get to visit this year. It was a sad time.
It was sad.
He spent all that time at the beach. Didn't want to spend any time with his boys. John Salas, welcome back. McAuliffe Black with a JD single barrel. J-Bay says, those darn kids will find your stash all the time, BTCG. Making poor decisions, welcome back. How are you doing this evening? What are you smoking? What are you drinking? Jim Jursex had a Padilla Habano earlier. Nice. Fires, you guys getting some of our California weather out there now? Yeah, we had it's been a pretty dry, but it's been really windy for the past week. And there's a state park there's a couple state parks not too far from here, but one of the big ones, some teenagers were out hiking over spring break last week. And I don't know the exact specifics of how the fire started, but there was a fire that started and it got out of control. And now there are thousands of acres set ablaze.
4,500 acres in the one big Table Rock. And then there's another 1,500 acres in some other place and another like 150 acres somewhere else. I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah, so we are supposed to have some precipitation this weekend, starting late Saturday into Sunday. I'm hoping, and we're supposed to have like 2 days of it, Sunday, Monday. So I'm hoping that we'll have enough rain to really help battle these fires, so that the forestry crew and the fire departments and all that stuff who are working. The National Guard I saw was out in Chinook helicopters grabbing. Now that is one of the good things about our areas. We have a lot of lakes, and we have a couple really big lakes around us. So not great big lakes, but we do have the fresh water on hand for helicopters to go dip and dive and all that stuff. So. I did not research to see if any of it's been contained yet. I'm not sure if there's
still zero contained. And our neighboring area, about 15 miles away from us, in a small town called Marietta, they are having mandatory evacuations. And I've already told Sarah, I said, sweetheart, you and the dogs will pack up and leave, but there's no way I'm leaving my house. I will fight this fire with everything I have, and if the studio catches on fire, I will be here to smell every last cigar while it's burning. I am not letting it all go up in smoke.
You better start drinking a lot of water now.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Dan Burns says, no smoking outside for me today due to high wind, heavy rains from night, but I'm drinking my PBR. Let's see. Gary Brooks says, Florida was burning too. I drive right through. I saw your post about driving the rental car through all the smoke and should just lit up a cigar and blamed it on the wildfires.
Right.
Ron Smith says, finishing off my sampler box of El Septimos with a Salvador Dali and a bottle of water. I don't know why you do it to yourself, but hey, somebody's got to smoke them. Bob Ellis, no smoke raining here. Man, that stinks. Sammy Flo, welcome into the show. How are you doing? Rick Carroll with an Undercrown Shade and a Dr. Pepper. Claritin D, the one you have to show ID to buy is the only thing that works for me. I did get some Claritin, and I didn't have to show my ID for it. Chi-Town Cigar Podcast. Howdy, Chief. I'm Bob the Cigar Guy, smoking an Axum tonight. Ooh, the old Matapa. Gary Zanstra smoking a Hoyo Excalibur. Michael Zakovic's a bit late, but he's here. What are you smoking, Michael Zakovic? I want to know. I lit our neighborhood park on fire when I was a little kid. Yo, super hydrate. Yeah, somebody's got to smoke them. Ain't gonna be me. But as this cigar does go out, I'm continuing the theme of a couple shows ago of smoking cigars that I've not smoked before, and I'm going to smoke them at PCA, or at least we're going to be there to interview this company at PCA, and this one is the company Natura. This is Bob, you know a little bit more about the brand here than I do, and for whatever reason, my camera does not want to focus on.
That's the Mustang, right? I don't remember what the blend is on that Mustang, but I bet people who make poor decisions would actually know exactly what the blend is on that. If you want to throw it in the comments and help us out. But Natura Cigars, they are a very small, new company, really, really new. I think maybe 2 years old, something like that. Started out in dealing with produce. COVID happened, and they were going to lay off a lot of people, and decided to use all the greenhouses that they have and start growing tobacco. And so they started growing tobacco, and their tobacco is way higher than anybody else's tobacco is. It's extremely cold in that climate. There's a lot less sun, and they have a longer growing period in the greenhouses where they can really modify temperature and humidity in the growing process. And they say it's something special. Now, I do enjoy the Frisian. That is my favorite out of the series. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be an up-and-coming cigar. I really think it's going to be an up-and-coming company. You need to keep your eyes out for it. You need to tell your shops that you want to give it a shot. So,
Making Poor Decisions is also smoking a Natura. I'm going with the Mustang this evening. I have, what do I have over here? I have the Akal Teke, and I have a Frisian. But I decided to go with the Mustang because it was the smaller of the three in the pack. My hope is to smoke them pre-PCA, but I wanted to continue with the theme,
which is less than 2 weeks.
It is 16 days, I think.
Well,
15.
We traveling in 13 days.
Wow, look at you. Mike Zakovic smoking a JFR Corojo this evening. Nice, giving Aganorsa Leaf a little bit of love. Donald Smith says the cigars are just okay, not worth the money. All the money's in the box's presentation. Gary Brooks wants to know, Joe, get Abe on the PCA list? Not yet. I am with Abe. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, if I want to get him at a certain specific time or if we just want to, invite him over to the house or something like that. I'm not sure yet. But we do definitely want to talk with Abe and get him on, get a retailer's opinion.
God, getting Abe over to the house. Now, would that not be something?
But Abe, he's so popular, he probably ain't get no time.
He's probably going to be at Dojo's. or Coops, because they do a show at midnight. Coop does one at midnight, I think.
Dog, we ain't doing no midnight show.
No.
At midnight, I'm gonna be hanging with the boys, or I'm gonna be asleep. Because midnight there is 1 o'clock here.
So what? Sleep when you die.
I ain't gonna be doing no cigar show at 1 a.m. Eastern time.
Now, while Steven's smoking that new cigar, I've got something I just did a review on, and I really was impressed with it, so I thought I'd fire it up again. And it's the Aganorsa Leaf Corojo La Validacion. The only problem I have with this cigar is the fact that it doesn't say La Validacion on the band, but I understand why, because the band has got so much stuff on it already. But it didn't even have it on the cello. It would be nice just for when you review to have the whole name of the cigar on it. But Aganorsa has a great website that you can go to, and you can look at all their blends and all their little stories. And it's a well put together.
So this is the company's is all the tobacco Dominican, or is just their company rolls out of the Dominican? Because I see it says Dom Rep on it.
That's where the greenhouses are. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have to use other tobaccos that they don't grow in their blends because they just haven't gotten big enough yet. If I'm not mistaken, but
all things that I'll learn at PCA.
Making Poor Decisions will be able to fill us in on some of that in the comments.
Dan Burns says, after I get something to eat, I'll sneak out to my shed and smoke a Monte Cristo Habana Open Junior. Nice.
All right.
PCA, excuse me. I will be doing a lot of coughing this evening, most likely. So please do.
Which I've already been put on report. Do not cough. Do not clear your throat in the PCA videos because they make it very hard to edit. I've already got the speech.
It's not so much they make it hard to edit. It's you'll be talking and then cough and you'll go right back to talking. You don't even give yourself a break for me to put a break in there at all. Jay Bates is giving me score updates for the Gators. I forgot they were playing tonight. I have not thought about them playing, or else I would have had the score pulled up. Thank you, Jay Bates. Hopefully the Gators pull it out. That's March Madness for everybody. Now, I did not come up with a bracket. I know last week I said that I would come up with a bracket this week if we did not get Tim Swanson on. I do have a partial date with Tim, but it's going to be after PCA. So we will not have Tim on this week. We will not have Tim on next week. And then with the way I was feeling last night, or for the last 2 days, I didn't think I was going to do Chief Talk at all. So I did not come up with a topic to do a bracket this week. So sorry, there are no brackets this week. Jimmy says, Chief, why are you crying about midnight? You text and send TikToks until 2 a.m. Okay. But midnight.
He called you out
in New Orleans, Louisiana, is 1 a.m. Eastern time. So it's really not even midnight. It's 1 a.m. And at 1 a.m., I'm laying in bed, dog. So, the Altora is a puro. The natural line is sourced with some of our Dominican filler. Nice to hear. Again, all things that I'm looking forward to learning at PCA in just a couple weeks. Really looking forward to, getting to see the guys at Natura, also see all of the people across the board. Let's see. Let me come over here and pull this up because the last time I updated the amount of companies that we were going to be seeing at PCA, we've added many more companies since then. So far, what you guys and gals can expect from us at PCA this year are interviews of or with or content around their booths of Drew Estate, J.C. Newman, Adventura, Gurkha Cigars, Postani, JRE, which is Aladino and a couple other companies, Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, Foundation Cigar, and then Zeno Camacho Avo Davidoff, AJ Fernandez, Natura Cigar, Black Label Trading Company, West Tampa Tobacco, Rabbit Air, Aganorsa Leaf, Artesano del Tobacco, Ferry Otego, Ellie Blue, and Filiger. So we've got a lot of companies.
That's 22 right there.
Out of those.
And we always have a handful of pop-ups. We'll just jump in and catch some when we catch some. And so I would expect we're going to be in excess of 30 interviewed videos, and then we're going to do some of the new stuff that we're trying. So Chief may be working on videos every night for the next 2 months.
Now, companies that I have reached out to and have not heard back from yet are Perdomo, Padrone, Warfighter, Crowned Heads, Karen Berger, La Flor Dominicana, Warped, Tatawahe, Oliva, Luciano, Forged, in all of their companies, Cavalier, who else? Fratello, and who else here?
Drunk Chicken?
No, and then my father. I have not reached out. I think I said my father already, maybe. No, I didn't. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 companies, 14 companies that I've reached out to with no response back from. So if we get all of them to respond back in the next 2 weeks, I got to start telling people, hey, sorry, I ain't got no more time for you. The odds of some of those companies getting back to me are low. I do not expect Padrone to get back to us.
But you're getting reached out to by companies now. Like, what was it, today?
So yesterday, Rabbit Air reached out to me.
I mean, and we've had a couple others reach out.
La Galera reached out to me. Here's another company. Cigar Oasis sent out a thing, but I don't know if that was to media or just to anybody who's in their system. Supreme Tobacco says PCA was saying that there were 70 plus new companies at the show this year. Sean Crowley, what is going on? Let's see.
Did you see the JC Newman?
Fireborn says, I'm still finishing up dinner, but tonight is my virtual Friday. Looks like I grabbed a Cavalier Inner Circle Domain Rogue to smoke after. And then Dan Burns said, I need to get a ton of plush from Miss Diana Burns. Congratulate her for getting a new job. Congratulations. That's awesome. That is awesome. No Black Star Line. I have not reached out to Black Star Line yet. So Jim, CAO is under Scandinavian Tobacco Group and General, and they are not exhibiting, but Forged is, and Forged is owned by Scandinavian Tobacco Group, who owns General Cigargo. So I have reached out to Forged because Forged, I don't know who all they're exhibiting there, because last year we got General and we got CAO, Cohiba, and Macanudo. Mm-hmm. So there's a chance that we can get that if Forge responds back to the email that I sent out to them. I have not heard back from them. It's been over a week, so I don't know if I'll hear back from them or not. What were you going to say about
Did you get the media invite to the party for JC Newman?
So it's during the show.
During the show. It's like 2 hours during the show.
Yeah, it's during the show.
But also, I don't know if you got this one today, Luciano Cigars sent us a PCA pregame event. It's you have to register. You have to. It's invite only.
Yes.
And you got that?
I did get it.
Okay.
But I didn't think we were going to talk about it on the show because that's for media and.
Well, we're sharing everybody with the PCA experience, and it's just this is our third year, and now people are starting to figure out, hey, these guys are here, and hey. Some people watch them, so hey, we might want to invite them. So it's just one of those neat things. I don't know if we'll be able to make it or not.
I do wish PCA held a media only Zoom conference yesterday, but I was sick, so I missed it.
And I
wanted to get on there and ask them for in the future years. I think they should reach out to former media and anybody who has applied for media by a certain date and put them into an email system and then send that email system, those emails out to the exhibiting companies who are there and say, hey, if you want to schedule media time, these are the media groups that are going to be there. Please contact them and see if you can work them into your schedule.
Because there's been a number of companies that after you reach out to them, then they put out their their blanket, hey, does any media want to do meetings with us? So you've done that for the past 2 years. You make people go, oh crap, I forgot we got to reach out to media. Right. So you've been on the ball.
Gary Brooks says, someone said nothing new at PCA. Sokka said, hold my beer. I was going to talk about that because Bob the cigar guy over there.
I did not.
Texted me. I can pull up the text message right now. Texted me and said, hey, was this you?
That is not the way I said it. That's not exactly what I said. No, sir. No, sir. You trying to put you trying to change the game on me. I ain't letting you do it. I hope. I said, did Steve pop in on the show last night? That's what I said. I didn't say, hey, is this you? I just asked a question. That's all. And he said, no, I'm not a media group or they. Why would you assume this was me? And I said he thought he might have been talking about us.
I thought he might have been talking about us.
And then the next one was what? I actually didn't think it was you.
That was you covering.
And then I said, you have been doing this for a good while and you do a solid job. I was just wondering.
That's a self-contradictory text,
though.
No. You've been doing a solid job, but...
Look, I'm double checking. Because sometimes you go off the rails. Sometimes I go off the rails. Look, how many releases, how many things have I said that we're not supposed to talk about yet within the channel? You have that ability too. You know?
I did not. One, I never would say that because I would never want to make enemies with anybody. I don't know who said it. The only other company that I'm aware of on Thursday nights is Coop. And he's late Thursday nights, if I remember correctly. So and Coop has a huge scoop on the industry, right? He's been around for a long time. He gets a lot of emails. I would not have made that. If you guys have checked Chevetta Report just this week, I think I've put out 6 or 7 new cigars that are coming to the market, and that doesn't include anything from Sokka. And he said he's putting out like 5 things this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm gonna beg him for one of those new Sokka sticks.
Gary Brooks says, Padron, meh. You got some real hitters who did respond. Oh no, definitely, like, this is a show. We've got, obviously we got Drew Estate, JC Newman, Aventura, Gurkha, JRE with Aladino, Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, Aganor Salif. AJ Fernandez is new this year to us. We've never done AJ Fernandez. We've never done Zeno, Davidoff, Camacho, Avo. We're back with Foundation again this year. And that's not to, put light on Rabbit Air or Black Label Trading Company or West Tampa or Pastani or Natura or, I'm not trying to put them down or anything. But, obviously there are levels to the cigar industry. And there are big dogs, there's little dogs, there's medium dogs, there's no dogs. And I'm excited for getting back with Foundation again this year, especially with their release today. I put out a press release on there, the 10-year anniversary that they're coming out with. And then also they released last week the exclusive event-only cigar, the Premier Fabrica 1810. It's a 3-cigar coffin that you get with a box purchase at Foundation events starting this summer.
I was hoping we were going to get Fuente just because I don't have Opus budget, and I would
just want to do Fuente just to have, because
Opus
here's
in
the
the
thing:
house.
Fuente, people know Fuente. They're just going to Google Fuente, and if we pop up as a search result on Fuente, we're going to get that traffic.
One of the ones that hit the hardest is My Father's.
I resent them an email today.
Right. I mean, no, what I'm saying is My Father's. That's we don't do a lot of My Father's, but it's some
right.
Sokka, Drew Estate, other companies.
That's one thing I'm looking for. I think we're going to do well with AJ Fernandez this year.
He's on fire. He's been on fire for years.
AJ's doing a lot.
He was a master blender for El Pupo, wasn't
he? Yes.
I think so.
They're the ones who roll the El Pupo. Ooh, what's that lighter, Chief? I need one of those for the missus. This is I call it the Rubik's Cube from Calibri. It's a desktop. It is a dual point jet or a soft flame. I prefer the soft flame on it, but it's both.
And there's a matching cutter, and there's a matching ashtray. And that ashtray is solid.
I'm using the ashtray now that I've taken pictures with it. Bob the bully. He is a bully. Always hurting my feelings when you guys aren't around. Chevette reports killing it with the news. I appreciate that. Bob, please don't take that seriously. And then there's the road dog at the bottom. No,
Not
road dogs
true.
are always to the top, baby. Bob Ellis is looking forward to Foundation and West Tampa.
West Tampa, he's a great interview. He's funny.
Yeah, Rich Rodriguez.
He's great.
Rick Rodriguez. If it's green, she's in. Cut her and trade to my poor paycheck. You'll just have to not buy a box of Saka this month.
Oh, he couldn't do that. He needs to buy himself one of these cooler doors, one of these wine doors off of Marketplace and get out of them dang big coolers he's got. He deserves that upgrade.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Have you got the cutter over there?
No, you have the cutter, but I'm not unboxing it right now because I hate messing with that thing. But yeah, they do have a cutter that looks just like that, and it comes in green as well. We don't have the green one,
and it's a dual punch. It's got two different punches. It's got a V-cut and a guillotine.
It's got the guillotine, it's got the V, and then it's got all three punches, I believe, on it, because I think all four sides have something to do with it. So yeah, I'm hoping to hear back of the companies that I have sent out to. I know I probably shouldn't do this, but of the companies that I have sent out to and have not heard back from yet, the ones that I would most really like to hear back from, obviously my father. I'd also like to hear back from Oliva because we've never done Oliva before. I'd really like to hear back from them. I'd also like to do Tatawahe because listening to Pete Astle Johnson's video with the Republic of Debauchery last year really opened my eyes up to his relationship with the My Father brand and his wife being the daughter of the creator of My Father or granddaughter, one of the two. I really enjoyed listening to that. I'd also like to hear back from La Flor Dominicana. I think that would be cool. Again, another company that we haven't done before. There are a bunch of names on the PCA trade show exhibitors list that I can go through because I'm part of the media and have access to it that I've never seen before, but a lot of them look like packaging companies, cigar band makers, humidor makers, things like that. I did reach out to what is their name? They're the ones who make that really cool military look.
I know you're talking about.
Humidor. Dang it. Humidif Group, I think is their name. Maybe. I know Brian, you'll know. Jim says Pete is awesome. I think his interview last year with the Republic of Debauchery was fantastic. Gary Brooks says they had a DuPont Game of Thrones cutter holder and lighter at Smoke Inn. I tried to get her to buy for my birthday, but she wasn't going for the $13K price tag. And that was the small one because the big one ends up with, if you do the matching cutter or the matching lighter, it's almost $50,000 with the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw those last year at PCA. No way, dude.
Under glass with security hanging around. They were watching us hard when we were walking around.
I do want to go by ST. I have reached out to ST DuPont. I have not heard back from them. I've reached out to them for 3 years in a row now. Have not heard back from them. I do have a connect with one of the reps there, so I might try to use my connect while we're there to go by and see if we can do a "Hey, we're here" video. So we'll see. We can always hope. Right?
We're going to cram in as much content as we can that's worth cramming in. We're not there to work a little bit and play a little bit. We're there to get things done. I mean, we grind. That's what we do.
The way it's setting up right now with and again, this is all able to change within the next 2 weeks. Because
can you back up your camera because your arms are taking up the whole freaking
Sorry.
Whole freaking shot.
Look at the little macho over here. I'm so big I can't even fit in the frame. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting slow for my boys at PCA. I got to be able to pick them all up at one time and hold them. There's going to be a bunch of the Deadly Breakfast Club again there this year. So we've already started talking about breakfast plans. So,
yeah.
Nobody's
reached out to me.
That's because you're an extension of me.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is funny. That's circular because you're an extension of me.
Jay Bates, Rick Carroll, thanks for hitting the love button over on Facebook. Sammy Flo, Charles Adamson, Ronald Smith, thanks for hitting the like button over on Facebook. We have not hit 30 yet tonight. The night's still young. We're only 36 minutes into the show, but we're currently sitting at 24 people. So our streak of 7 is hanging. But we are at 9 of 13 completed shows, currently 14 shows of hitting 40 plus or 30 plus. Sorry, don't get ahead of yourself there, Chief. Now I will say this Natura Mustang, not a bad cigar.
Right.
I'm enjoying this cigar. I don't know anything about this. I don't know the price point. So far, enjoying it. Would be a cigar that I could definitely see myself. I've been my wife and the kids and I. We started our garden last week, or 2 weekends ago now. And so I've been going out there and smoking cigars and sitting out with the plants. So I could definitely see this being my old man sitting with my plants kind of cigar right now.
Well, the price point on that is about the same. If each finger was $1, it's as many fingers as you have on both hands.
Oh,
that's
wow.
running where the price point is. So I'm impressed. The blends are good, are so mature for a 2-year-old company. Usually their first ones are, usually a little heavy-handed on one flavor or the other, but they seem to have a real nice balance.
So far, I'm liking it. It's not overpowering at all. It's not light, but it's not. It's a very medium-bodied cigar. Now, I do want to say, I was going to talk about it a little bit earlier. I did smoke my second Solita Red. Last week, I felt like I didn't do a good enough job talking about how much I did enjoy the cigar. I felt like at the end of the show, I was like, man, I feel like I talked about that cigar in a way that it made it seem like it was subpar. Great cigar.
So you've already smoked 5 out of that 10-count box, so the rest are mine, right?
13 count, by the way. And that was my second one, and you've already smoked 3.
I reviewed one.
Yeah. Oh, I reviewed one. I didn't get to smoke it. I reviewed it.
No, I reviewed it. Just like you're saying, you didn't do it justice smoking it on the show because you're not paying 100% attention to it.
Yeah, but in your review, you are paying 100% attention.
No, it's work product. It's different.
Chi-Town says, if I'm missing a finger, will it give me a discount?
Well, I don't know.
Gary Brooks missed out on the red, but he'll get it in the next shipment. I enjoy it. It is not at the top of my...
You're talking about the red?
It is not at the top of my Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust tier list. It is not at the bottom either. It falls right around the regular Mi Querida for me. I love the Tricky Chaka more than I love the Mi Querida.
Talking about the blue.
Yeah, the red versus the blue. I don't...
You like the red more than the blue?
Oh, yeah. Way more. It's a good cigar. I think right now on the cigars that I've smoked this year, it is sitting at number 3 for me. The new cigar. So currently right now, the Pennsylvania Broadleaf Cro-Magnon is still number 1. Last week I smoked the Macanudo Emissary España. I think that's my number 2. The Solita Red might be number 3, but now that I'm thinking about it, it actually might be number 4 because I smoked the Troublemaker, the J.C. Newman Julius Caesar Troublemaker. Really good cigar. So I actually think the Solita Red is probably sitting at number 4 for me right now.
And that's that shark vitola where it's square or it's that funky shape. It's not a shark vitola. It's a really interesting shape, but it does change the flavor.
It reminds me of like a cartoon cigar shape.
Agreed. Either what's his name from the Flintstones or what's his name from the Jetsons.
Right. Gary Brooks says, I've been neglecting my Mi Queridas, but pool opening is close. Stogie Sister, welcome into the show. Says she needs to get her hands on a Solita Red. Matt Berg says the reds are super tasty. I like the red. Is it super tasty? No.
I liked it a lot.
I think it is probably the most medium cigar that Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust puts out.
Did you taste that pininess?
No. But that first, and the thing for me that it really surprises me, and I think you also experienced this a couple weeks ago when you smoked it on the show, was the first third is the best part of that cigar.
It's the cleanest.
I think it is the most complex.
Yeah, but it's the flavors are very, very crisp.
It is super cedar heavy to start off.
You say cedar, I say pine, but I can see where those would cross over. I can see that.
I'm of the mindset that the best part of that cigar is the first third. It might even be worth doing a safari style on that thing. Speaking of safari style, by the way, Pravada Cigar Club put out a video this week or late last week where they're bringing in. I'm not a big fan of Pravada Cigar Club. I'm not a big fan of their model, but a lot of people like them. A lot of people love them, whatever. But there was a guy who was there going through the warehouse at Pravada and sourcing through the extra cigars they had. I think he said he had like 17 million cigars or something like that. Maybe not million, maybe 170,000. I can't remember how many. 17, maybe it was 17,000. I can't remember how many cigars it was he had in his warehouse of coolers. But he was like, when we have a company who wants to come and do a cigar with us, we have all these blends, we have all these brands that you could choose from. And the guy pulled out a cigar from a cooler, and I guess he noticed that there was a crack at the top of the cigar. And he was like, if you pull out your cigar and you get a crack on it, what a lot of people are doing is they're cutting the head and they're smoking from the other side, and they calls it safari style. I kid you not.
That's crazy.
I kid you not.
That's crazy.
I kid you not. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Can I?
That's funny.
Because my boy Mike sent me the. I'm gonna share my screen here. Window. Is it this? What? Can I pull that up? Entire screen. I might just have to do my entire screen. All right. What does it look like in your end when I do that? Oh, it's loading. All right. So where did that go?
Inception.
Hold on.
Where'd it go? The name of that movie?
Yeah.
Inception.
All right. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it or not. We're going to try it. Oh, no. Come back here.
Whenever you get something damaged, cut it here, smoke it backwards, and call it safari style.
Really? I love that. That's very cool.
Whenever you get something damaged, cut it here, smoke it backwards, and call it safari style.
Really? I love that. That's very cool.
So, shout out, Mike. Let me come over here and stop sharing my screen because I'm going to give us all aneurysms. So he sent me that, and I thought that was funny. I forgot I was gonna bring it up tonight until we started talking. I don't remember what dropped my memory on it. But.
We may be putting words in the cigar lexicon forever. That's funny. That's crazy.
So
I wonder if Drew Estate has copyrighted Safari Style.
I don't know if they've I don't think so. I mean, so one of the things that I do to kind of cheat around Freestyle Live is I will go and check the trademarks that Drew Estate Swisher puts out there and see what they're naming things or whatever they've trademarked.
But you're not going to tell nobody. You're not going to be
I don't go
other
out
people and say, "Hey, I've got that. I know what it is."
And say, "Oh, I think it's going to be called this."
Yeah.
And then be like, "Well, how are you, Nostradamus?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's public information. It's just using your brain. So he says they've been watching the Drew Estate group. That's where it comes from. So I don't even remember what we were talking about now. For whatever reason, that jogged my memory. About that. Gary Brooks says, I love my TE Safari style shirt. So it's, it's just it was just a happy little coincidence, happenstance thing. Never intended to blow up or go off or anything. Just hey, if you end up smoking a certain cigar backwards, maybe think of it as when we were at our safari doing, called safari style. And it was never intended to blow up or anything.
First lady bringing the receipts. That's what the young kids say, just to let you know.
We're 29. It's the closest we've been to 30 tonight.
Do I need to get on my phone real quick?
No. We'll let it happen. We will let it happen naturally.
Organically. Steel Bob, you the honest to God truth.
I think you're crazy.
That's the truth, Bubba.
It's the dumbest way to smoke.
Don't smoke your first Pappy Safari style. It's a $30 cigar. But smoke your next one Safari style and let your world be changed. God, I love that cigar like that.
No, I will not desecrate that wonderful blend, smoking it backwards. Which, it's funny because technically, no, that's not the definition of Safari style. Just, smoking a cigar backwards or having a cracked head. That is not Safari style. Safari style was just meant to be the Nasty Fritas because Jolynn Roberts lit hers the wrong way and smoked it backwards. Ryan Gallimore noticed it, brought it to a couple people's attention. Dad said, "Oh, that's interesting. What if I did that? What does it taste like?" And then did a video on it. And then people thought it was really cool. Jonathan Drew has talked about it a bunch of times. So, and then, it's taken over the Drew State Facebook group and people smoking and whatnot. So, smoking a Safari Pappy is the only way to smoke it for me.
See?
Jay Bates says, the Gators are starting to pull away. Come on, Gators.
Even Mark Ryan, who makes the Perique tobacco, the Pat Van Winkle barrel from an Perique tobacco that comes from Kentucky and goes down to Louisiana in the Perique process, he had never had it that way. And I told him he has to try it, and he tried it. And the next time I saw him at the next Barn Smoker, he goes, I did. And it is amazing. It changed the whole experience of cigar smoking.
Mark Ryan talking good about his own product. Imagine that.
I'm just saying, it's game changing, and so many other cigars because manufacturer or master blenders will front load, back load. They'll take the tips, right, and they'll put some, and it'll be two different cigars.
Yeah, I get it changing the essence of the cigar. Like I don't discredit that because obviously the cigar is meant to. Like I said, maybe that's what it was when what brought me up to Safari styles. We were talking about the Salida Red. I think eventually I want to try smoking the Salida Red backwards
style, just to see what it would be.
Just to see if I do enjoy that cigar better that way. Because in the two that I've smoked, I've noticed that I really do enjoy. I think what you said it on the Chief Talk stream a couple weeks ago. That the Salida Red first third was really good, and then it turned into a different cigar, which came across as lighter almost. And I noticed that when I smoked it the first time last week, and then tonight as I was smoking it again, I remembered that that cedar hint it's not even really a hint. It disappears, so it turns into a hint, but it's very cedar forward in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I would enjoy that cigar more if I smoked it from light to what I would give more of a full, not even full. Medium plus. But overall, I classify that cigar as a pure medium cigar.
When I do the reviews on infused cigars, which they really kick out on spring and summer, there'll always be one guy who comments or a girl who comments that says, look, I like the asses, they're just too sweet. And I tell them, smoke it Safari style because a lot of the sweetness is on your lips and the cap. And because the cap has got a sweetened glue to it. And so if you turn that thing around, you still get the infusion because the infusion goes all the way through, but you don't get that sweetness. And it is a different tasting cigar. It changes the flavor a lot on an infused cigar.
Interesting. I don't think I've smoked an infused cigar backwards.
I like most now the.
No, I take it back. When Cigar Prop did it the first time years ago,
Right.
he said it completely changed the flavor of the cigar completely.
Well, he said there wasn't infusion. He said it was just the glue,
tip.
right?
Yeah. And when I smoked it backwards, I didn't agree, but I did do it with Plush,
Right.
which is one of the heavy hitters in the acid line. I could still taste that
infusion.
Yeah, well, right. Whatever you want to call it, infusion, flavoring, whatever. Now, there are some acids out there that I smell, like the acid toast. I don't really get a lot of it just to begin with because it is such
it's very light. It's infused with teas.
There was another, I think it was the Be More that was that way as well.
One of the regionals.
Yeah.
But now the Cuba Cuba, that's the only one I like smoking safari style out of the infused lines of Drew Estate, because that Cuba Cuba has so much sweetness on the cap. It's oversweet to me personally.
Right. I don't know if it's so much they dropped the infusion. They definitely dropped the sweetness, because I had a Cuba Arte in November that I had was an original Cuba Arte, and I think the original Cuba Arte was 2019, 2018, 2019 when that was out. And,
that was the Towers.
Yeah, and I could not taste the sweetness on the cigar. Had the infusion, but I did not have the sweetness. Dan Burns says his Monte Cristo is smoking nicely. Nice. Chi-Town says, I need to try the Safari style with new freestyle live pack. I haven't even smoked one of those yet. Bob the Cigar Guy has hogged them all to himself.
I'll fix that right now. You see
I have
it,
not
you
had
see it
one,
right here?
But I know Jay Bates has raved about the cigar. He has said that it's very good. So I have not tried one yet. I need to try one. Excuse me. Because I would not be a good host,
Media personnel,
if I didn't at least give one a shot. I will not do it tonight. I think, to me, it looks like a very light cigar. I know it's a Connecticut wrapper with some Dominican tobaccos, and it has a sweetened tip on it. And I have a little bit of a cold. Well, not a cold. I'm doing my allergies right
sinuses.
now.
Congestion.
So I'd like to give this a full-fledged testing effort.
I'll tell you what, now I'm talking infused so much, I want an infused cigar.
Gary Brooks says, "Gotta roll. Talk to you later, gents." Gary, I saw your text message. I'll text you in a little while. Sogi sister, wow, my Artes are less infused tasting, but they are still delicioso. Matt Berger says, I can't do any of the infused or sweetened, just not my cup of tea. And that's fine. I don't have a problem, if people don't want to smoke it because it's just not their jam. Hey, I get it. I just don't want people to say,
you're not a real cigar smoker if you smoke infused.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
No, I also say that, being the Rocky Patel talker that I am, I have not tasted every Rocky Patel cigar.
Oh, you should do that.
There. I should. Honestly, I think it's time that I give Rocky Patel another shot.
Really?
I should. Because it's been a couple of years since I smoked my last one. The last one I smoked, the last few that I smoked, I did not like. And so maybe it's time to update. Because palates change.
They do.
Maybe I need to update my tasting of the Rocky Patels. But I'm not going to do that pre-PCA.
No, you ain't got time. You only got 13 days till we fly, or till you fly. We can't afford flights for everybody. Steven took first class, and so me and the first lady have to drive an old clunker all the way down there.
Absolutely, we are too small of a community to bash any style of cigar enthusiast. Everyone has their preferences. Absolutely, like I said earlier,
Isn't that one of the no-nos?
Humidor, and they're still banging, but she's super sad.
Isn't that one of the no-nos of being in a cigar lounge is to bash somebody else's cigar?
That was one of the things we talked about last week. We did have that. You didn't watch the show last week.
No.
So what ended up taking the cake of the do's and don'ts, or the don'ts, was licking cigars.
I'm down with that.
Licking the final was between Licking Cigars and the Horn Dog.
No, that's Licking Cigars before you use the group cutter.
Licking Cigars are like the dudes who lick their whole cigar to like moisten it back up. Those creeps.
That is kind of creepy.
But the battle for the final battle was Licking Cigars versus the Horn Dog. The Licking Cigars beat out
Horn Dog boy, Horn Dog girl.
Any Horn Dog. Licking Cigars beat out Cigar Snob to get to the finals, and then Horn Dog beat out the Floor Asher. Bob Cigar, right?
What are you talking about? This carpet was gray over here when I first put it in.
Sure. Let's see.
It's insulation.
Ooh, Rocky Patel interview. Proposed the channel sponsorship by smoking through the whole catalog and reviewing it. Oh, and putting my feet to the fire. What'd you get? A Stillwell?
No, I got a Tobacco Negra.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can smell that. It smelled very Stillwell Winter Series-y. Buddy had to go, so he gets to stay on. Nice. So it's again, maybe I smoke Armitel and I say, you know what, my palate has changed. I like some of these cigars.
And then we'll move to El Septimo.
No, those are just crap cigars in general. And I got beef with the owner, man. I got beef with the owner. The dude gets on. He's one of the newer companies. He has a piss ton of money. He just threw at cigars and advertising and bots. And
they put $30 billion in 3 ashtrays.
Tries to put
$30 million.
Tries to say that he's he's the best cigar company in the world when he has nowhere near enough skin in the game or blends to back up being the best cigar in the world. Sorry. The Cigar Collective says, "Hey fellas, hey, what's going on? What you smoking? What you drinking? I do want to know. I hear if you have the delicate cigar and the humidity is dry, give it a fast dunk under the faucet. Tried it and it worked. And I heard Saka say it's a valid move. And that's one thing I actually didn't talk about last week much. I did talk to Jay Bates on my ride home. I was gonna call him every Chief Talk on the way home, or after Chief Talk on the way home. We talked. And I was telling him about how I had heard about that. It was actually Brad Reith who introduced me to the idea that a lot of humidors way back when used to have sinks in the back corner where you could literally go and dunk your cigar under the water, dry back off, and it would rehumidify at least the wrapper being the thinner, leaf and the final leaf on the cigar.
Well, way back when, cigars were not humidified like they are now. They were a lot more rugged. The tobacco was a lot thicker, and so it could deal with humidity more. And that's why the old fancy thing where people would dip it in their bourbons or their cognacs or their brandies, so the cap didn't actually bust just from smoking on it, because it'd be slightly brittle. And so they would lick them or they would run them underwater and stuff like that, just to get a little bit of humidity onto them. But the problem is you are humidifying the outside, not the inside, right, which means you have a higher chance of tunneling and maybe even canoeing. So it's a buyer beware. Don't do that with your only $50 stick you have.
So Ronald Smith wants to know if you guys ever discussed patron sponsorships and scroll names on the intro or during the live show. So we used to do Patreon back in the day, and I kind of set it up for failure by thinking that I was going to be able to send out stickers and do new stickers every single month and all this other stuff. And I based my whole idea of Patreon off of super big creators who do Patreons, and we just did not have the budget. We had enough Patreons to buy stickers every month and pay a designer to make stickers for us, but we were just going to be spending the money we made on stickers, design, and shipping.
And then we had tons of stickers left over.
And so I got behind. I felt really bad, and I just canned the Patreon. I tried to do live streams over there, and I felt like it just wasn't enough bang for the buck. And I know there were a lot of people who said, look, we just love supporting the channel in a way that we can because we want to get back to you guys. But honestly, the best way that you guys can get back to us is just being here, hanging out with us, sharing the stuff, liking, going over Chevette Report, at least clicking on the articles, because eventually I'd like to get to a point where I can say, look, we've got, 10,000 clicks in the last 2 months. Advertise and spend some money over there.
And we were doing super chat, which was really, really good for us.
Well, we had memberships on YouTube, but we got demonetized by YouTube.
Right, we got demonetized.
So we can't have the memberships on YouTube anymore. And that was actually what we changed Patreon over to, was memberships, because memberships gave you name chat colors, it gave you emojis in the chat that you could use. I never figured out how to turn it to members only mode chat on the thing. But when we got demonetized during the huge YouTube banning thing, they took away our ability to monetize forever. So we can't even do members on YouTube anymore. We can't do super chats anymore on YouTube. So yeah, we had it, and we can't have it anymore.
Which was kind of a hit, to be honest. When we were doing it, we were making, I don't know, $150, $175 a month. And that adds up, because we have static bills. Every month we have to pay for lights, electricity. We have to pay for internet. We have to pay for this what is this thing called? StreamYard.
Right.
And our music
things
software.
That we pay for. Some of our editing stuff, StreamYard.
Epidemic Sound.
Our sound for the sound effects and music that gets put on videos and all that kind of stuff. So it really, especially with Patreon, it came down to, I felt bad because I promised one thing and delivered practically nothing.
Because mailing all that stuff out takes a long time too.
Because memberships will just set it and forget it. You could do certain tiers, and then you got certain things per tier. Your name changed colored. You got a badge forever, how long you were on there. You got, after every month of subscription of being a member, you got a free super chat basically to put in the stream, and it was cool. It would show up real big in the comments.
That's how you ended up eating the dang Reapers.
The demonetization really struck that. Bonilla says, I really liked the membership. I liked it a lot.
It was fun.
YouTube does hate us. So I don't think I'll ever do a Patreon again. If we did do a Patreon, it would just be hey, if you want to support us, send, get this tier. But, ultimately, what it'll be is a name scrolled, on a video or something like that. Or, you have the honor of being called a member, or being part of the Patreon.
That just doesn't seem valuable to y'all.
Well, and it takes time,
honest.
right? It's not like you just, get on there and set it and forget it. Like, there's a lot of the time that goes with it. And I hate to sound like that, but it's like, if we had, 1,000 members at, $10 a piece every single month, shoot, one of us could sit here in the studio every single day and be designing stuff and kicking stuff out and doing Patreon only live streams and Patreon only content and all that kind of stuff. And we're nowhere near that level. I mean, that's a Tim Swanson level, kind of sort of thing.
But we have hit a new level. We hit 9,000 subscribers this month.
9K. It's been a slow grind since the big 2022 YouTube shutdown, or 2020. Sorry, the first hit in 2020, and then going through 2022, and it's hurt on the YouTube side. It's hurt on the sponsorship side. Luckily we're still here. We dot our I's and cross our T's and button things up as closely as we can to make sure that we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, because I screwed up a lot. We had to get rid of a lot of videos because I would say the .com names of cigar retailers, which were some of our sponsors. And if you do that, and we got hit back to back, and we could have lost everything. So we just had to pull all that.
And that's one of the hard things. Is like, we would love to, we would love to reach out to cigar lounges and ask them to sponsor the channel, but we would have to find a way to direct you guys and gals to those websites, and on YouTube's current policies, we can't do that.
No.
And there are ways around it. Like I could put a link to Chevette Report into the comments or into the description of every video. And then there'd be a substation on Chevette Report that takes you directly to one of those websites. I don't want to say because I don't know if YouTube will bust me for even saying it here, but SI or, whatever. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to reach out to those companies and
Right.
say, hey, sponsor us.
Right. Because business is business. They need to know they get bang for their buck.
Right.
And so we can't do some, and I've seen some YouTube creators that say it just flat out. And I'm sitting there going, boy, howdy, y'all are playing around. Because as soon as they crank it down, because YouTube doesn't say, okay, don't do it anymore. They'll go back to every last video you've ever done. And if they find it, and even if you delete it after they found one, you delete all of them, they can still pull those back up and say, well, you did it last time. So so you're gone.
That's the crappy part about it, is even if you archive the videos or even delete the videos, they've been able to go back and say, oh, here's a content strike because of that. Now, the content strikes have changed a little bit since we got our big content strike. And once you get your first actual content strike, you can never take it off. So it's 3 strikes, you're out. Really, for us, it's only 1 strike, you're out, because 1 strike puts us at 2, and if another one happens, boom, it's done. So we really play with fire. Now we don't, because we've just gotten away. We've gotten so far away from the lighter and the gas can that we probably are hindering ourselves in an area because of it. But there are ways around it. It's just trying to configure how to go that way, and then also, is it worth it?
Risk.
If you have to restart. If Chevette Report had more, email subscribers on it, because we're sitting at like 200 and some odd email subscribers on ChevetteReport.com, which is dope, because that's 200 people who are getting the press releases. Like today, 200 people got 3 emails from ChevetteReport.com, and we'll get another one tomorrow, at least one. But we tried Rumble. Rumble just did not take off. We were not going to make the move over to Twitch. That's just not a lane we were going. Also, that's another lane where you have to follow some rules pretty closely and tighten it as well. Rumble, more cigar friendly for sure, but there's just not as much of a clientele over there, or an audience for us to really benefit from. We've had some videos over on, because we have a Rumble account. We have some videos over on Rumble that have been up there for years and are still at like 100 views or under 100 views on them.
People go to YouTube.
It's not even hitting the algorithm. There you go. Yes, Rumble does monetize, but again, it's a very small audience over there. And even what's his name? Brian Glenn with Cigar Obsession. He had over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Took everything off of YouTube when the big demonetization thing started to happen. Took everything off, and then went over to Rumble and took 2% of his audience over there. So if we took 2% of our audience right now, it's what, 180 people?
Yeah, 180.
So it's
and monetization is not that. I mean, you have to be huge for monetization to really make sense. Anyway, you get 1,000 views, you might get $2. It's really not. The video that we have that's got like over 500,000 views or whatever is it, the big lighter video I did, when it was monetized, it only made like 50 something bucks out of all the videos, all the views. So for us, you have to be huge. You have to be millions of subscribers kind of thing before you really start being able to pull a paycheck.
Yeah, it's. I mean, no, you don't have to have millions. I mean, being in the 100,000 gets you a decent making. If we were monetized, we would still be making. Right now, we would probably make $2,000 to $3,000 a year off of what we are.
You think so?
Currently, yeah.
Well, we also wouldn't be shadow banned.
So I don't even think we're really shadow banned. I think it's just we are in such a niche market that the algorithm doesn't push us into areas where we're not currently being pushed into. If we diversified our channel and started doing, knives or guns or tactical or bug out bags for survival or stuff like that, maybe we would run into something like that. And get a little bit of a diversified channel algorithm. But again, then you're looking at spending money into buying things. Because, we've got some stuff that we could do reviews on with, tools or, bug out stuff or weapons or things like that.
Or gardening.
Then you're getting into, especially if you go into, like, whiskeys or firearms, right? You're still going into a regulated business side for YouTube, which is they don't like it.
But we could do a weed show.
Huh?
We could do a weed show.
Can't. It's regulated. Can't.
I thought it was alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
It's anything regulated. Anything regulated at all. Gabriel says, I have YouTube Red, and that's still such a small amount to creators. It's about large numbers of followers. Yeah, and anybody who has YouTube Red, who has a paid YouTube account, they were expecting some of that money to be diversified to us. Nope, we don't get anything. So if you ever see an ad played on us, it's because it's sharing ad revenue with a creator that we've played music from. So, like whenever I play the Family Matters intro, and Dad gets
I get an email
that says, "Hey, we noticed that there's content on there that's copyrighted. No need to worry. You're just going to split ad revenue with the company who owns this copyright." If there's any revenue at all, it goes to them. We don't get.
Yeah, we don't get a penny.
So I think there's a way that we could reapply for monetization.
But then we're going to be on their radar, and to be honest, it's just not worth the headache. It's not. The fact that y'all are here, the fact that we have sponsors, we would lean more towards trying to find more sponsors and generate more content that way. But it's not all about making the money. I mean, if we were doing this to make money, we would have been done 9 years ago.
Right.
That's the fact. So
it's we just have to keep hoping that we grow. Now I am hoping that when we have Tim Swanson and I have agreed on a topic. We just have to agree on it. I actually had a date and then realized it wasn't going to work, so I'm having to restructure the date available to bring him on. But I'm hoping, selfishly, that when we do have him on the show, he advertises to a lot of people he has subscribers to at his website, and they come over and flood the channel with just a whole bunch of people. So that's the hope, at least, right? I want to know how Bob gets those hard corners on his hat bill.
I have a video up on that somewhere. It's on the YouTube channel somewhere. It's probably 6 months old, 8 months old. But if you go back, I go over why my hat is like this and why I'd highly recommend that people don't do it as a trend. But I go through how you bend your hat, and it's a lot easier than you would believe. It's actually a whole lot easier.
Fireborn, I love that he has his after show. It's the Cigar Daily Plus. I don't have that capability. I'm sure I could find a plugin to install on the website to do something like that, where we could talk about things and garner sponsors over there as well. Because if I could stream from there, I'd just probably stream from there all the time. Honestly, just tell everybody, hey, go over there. This is where we're going to be doing the streams. And then I can talk about whatever I want because I own the website and nobody can get in trouble because I own the website. Ooh, I'm going to put myself in trouble. So I think that the Cigar Daily Plus thing is really dope. I think he does a great job with that. Dojo has their, everybody go over to Dojo and smoke cigars and post up stuff over there and whatnot. I think those are both dope. I also don't want to get into a point where anybody's like, oh, the Chief's copying everybody. Obviously, when it comes to the live stream game, everybody takes a little bit from everybody because there's only so much you can do. Right.
Every car manufacturer has wheels. Right.
I think one of the things that I do the most consistently that nobody else does because they're not as stupid and crazy as I am is I'm a show that's based on you guys. I'm a show that's based on smoking and hanging out in Hereford with you guys every single week and talking about the industry or talking about what's on Chevette Report or talking about, what's coming up, PCA or whatnot, with the occasional guests, right? But, the hope is to – I was hoping to have Tim Swanson on earlier. I was hoping to have him on. We've been talking for a few weeks now, a little over a month, trying to land a date. And we finally have a tentative around time when we're going to do it. But it's going to come down to whenever it makes the most sense for him. But after PCA, I'm hoping that I can bring some people on, then make some context of PCA and say, hey, look, Thursday is wide open. Let's bring you on and do some shows. Because I also want to give back to you guys. And I've made it very clear. One of the reasons I don't do a lot of guests is because when I do guests, I don't get to interact with you guys and gals. I don't get to talk with you guys a lot. I miss comments. I miss things. And I don't ever want you guys to feel like I'm ignoring you guys because I've got somebody else on the screen. But I also, catch 22, want to bring you guys and gals a whole bunch of people that I don't know how many other other YouTube channels that you watch live every week or Facebook channels that you watch live every week. And so being able to bring those guests on, like Terrence Riley was a fantastic show. I think he brought
great show.
I think not only did he do a great job with the bracket, I just think, his, learning about his time with Aganorsa and his history and, having, the ability to bring him on later in the year is also something that's, I'm looking forward to. And so, it's back and forth of what do you do or what do you not do? So, but yeah, the next 2 weeks are, I'm really looking forward to the next 2 weeks. I assume that I actually have about a week left of talking to companies, emailing companies and whatnot, because I know the week of PCA, exhibitors can start moving in, I think on Monday or Tuesday. So they're most likely, especially the bigger names, are not going to be looking at their emails saying, right, who can I have come by my booth or can I respond back to when it comes to, these people have emailed me about coming by the booth. One of the things that I was talking to Bob Cigar Guy about is, we have, I do have, like I said, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, possibly 18 companies, depending on how many we get at the Zeno, Avo, Camacho, Davidoff booth. They might get 2, might get 3, might get 4, might get 17. I don't know. Is we have a lot of open space at the moment on Monday. And one of the things that I want to do this year, and we've talked about this, is the top 5 most expensive things at PCA, or best things we saw at PCA, or best cigars we smoked at PCA, or something like that. And so right now, we're going to have a lot of time on Monday to shoot those kind of videos before we go. Because on Monday, I think we only have 2 companies booked on Monday. Rabbit Air in the morning, yep, and Aganorsa Leaf at 1 o'clock. And the show closes at 4 on Monday. So we've got 2 hours before Rabbit Air, 2 hours between Rabbit Air and Aganorsa Leaf, and 2 hours after Aganorsa Leaf. So there's a chance that we don't get anybody, and we take that time to make a whole bunch of other content. We are sitting at 29 people. Oh, we're at 28 now. That's the closest we've gotten to 30. I'm really hoping we can carry out the streak because we're getting close to the show here. Under 5 to go. Gators pulling away 77-62. Bryant, Redline Hero Firefighter. What up, everyone? Been working at the fire station for 5 weeks, and next week I go home after festival is done. Woo!
Shoo!
Gary Book says Liz has joined us. Welcome in, Miss Liz.
Hello.
Michael Zakvik says you just lined up an interview. You did. Did you send it to me on Facebook or something? But yeah, I suspect I have about a week left with companies to really get some stuff. And of course, we're going to have time walking around the show. Also, I forgot to add that while I have 18 companies written down, I also have 4 companies who said,
Stop
we can't give you a time to come by. Just come by, and hopefully we'll have some time for you. Those companies are Artisanal del Tobacco, Ferio Tego, Ellie Blue, and Villiger. Ellie Blue might not even be an interview. That's more of a kind of selfish chief thing. They asked me, they invited me to come by because I've been taking some content for them on my Instagram and for their Instagram as well. So we'll see how all that works out. She says hi. She's smoking the tobacco. Ooh,
I just finished the tobacco.
Oh, you finished it already?
I just finished it.
You've chooched through like 3 cigars in the time that I've done my one here.
Well,
one in a little bit.
It's Chief Talk, so.
J8 says, Bob Cigar Guy, how many of those freestyle sticks have you smoked?
One. Just one. I haven't had time to smoke through the rest. I've been doing other videos and stuff like that. So, and it actually kind of sat up there on the side, and I haven't paid any attention to them, to be honest.
Selfish, like the first class plane ticket.
Now he's talking about checking big bags and stuff, paying for all that.
No, I get a free checked bag. Why not use it? You were just complaining about.
No, I don't have a problem with you.
I said, get this. So him and my mom are driving down to PCA, right?
An old jalopy.
Yeah, in a brand new 2025 BMW. So they're driving into PCA because they're going to take a week to celebrate their anniversary on the way back, and they're going to do their own thing. So they're driving down. That's why I'm flying down. He's not flying down. It's because they're going to do their own thing on the way back.
Tired of getting touched by TSA.
It's just the 2 of them in a 4-seater car with a trunk.
No, it's a 2-seater, 2-door car. It's a convertible. It's got no back seat we're talking about, and the trunk is halfway full of the top.
You got a back seat. You let them kids drive back.
It's a tiny back seat. You couldn't fit.
My stuff can.
No, because your mom's stuff and my stuff's in there.
You got a trunk.
The trunk's full.
You can put it down at your feet.
I'm gonna bring back cigars.
You can hold it in your lap.
No.
So, anyways, I was like, hey, I got some stuff I might have you guys take over. He was like, oh, you can't check it. You can't give us anything. We go. Oh, what is it? What are you gonna bring down your whole wardrobe? No, it's like 3 things: a pair of shoes, a tripod, and maybe some clothes.
It starts off that way. Then all of a sudden he shows up with 4 bags, 6 boxes, and a Pelican case.
First lady called dibs on TSA this year. That's funny and gross. So I don't know. I don't know if I will, because if I do take my check back, because I've got a 3-hour layover in Dallas. If somehow my baggage got lost in between Dallas and New Orleans, what I would probably do is take enough clothes in my book bag to be, okay, in case we had to punt and go find some clothes or wait for my luggage to show up.
I can have your mom go buy you clothes in New Orleans if you need to.
Yeah, just get the old get the Super Bowl gear that's still down there, and then the on sale Mardi Gras clothes.
I'm thinking Mardi Gras clothes that have big, huge, flamboyant Mardi Gras all over it or something with little fake beads attached to it.
Gabriel says, the only time I had to relight a DTT, I was gabbing with Saka so much it had smoke in that it went out. That's a lot of talking, especially for a Dumbarton tobacco, because they only last about 10 minutes.
25 minutes. 25 minutes.
So, no, I don't know if I'm going to do the check. I still got some time to think about it. So I'll just, because my carry-on case that I'm taking, because you can take a carry-on in a book bag. My carry-on is all of my camera gear. Now, I used to have a bag that took all my camera gear in. This year, I have more gear than my bag can handle. And so I bought a Pelican case that's built for cameras to fly, carry-on size.
That's the real reason why we could only afford one plane ticket.
Oh, stop. I bought that with my own money.
I mean,
by the way,
I'm talking about the camera gear.
Oh yeah. Anyways, and so my book bag, I'll probably put a couple pair of clothes in, maybe a pair of shoes. But because I got 14 size shoes, they take up a lot of space. They're not flip flops, right? They're my Air Max 90s, which I'm bummed because I love Air Maxes, and apparently yesterday was National Air Max Day, and I missed it. I didn't even get to post with it. Just wear beads and show all those gains off. Yeah, I'm sure that would get us some views. Just mail your clothes back. I'm gonna send them back with Bob Scruggs and my mom.
They'll get lost.
So, we are gonna end the show here. I am sad to see the 30 streak end this week. It's okay. We got close. 29 twice. We did get close. But with that, Bob Scruggs, you have any parting words before we go?
Facebook Marketplace is your friend. I'm just saying. When you buy a $2,400 Wanador for $35, that's pretty dang good. So
not bad. Just gotta wonder who they stole it from.
It was a moving company. They get paid to take it away because the people don't want it no more. And so then they sell it cheap because they want to get it out of their storage area. They had a video game with a motorcycle on it. One of the ones you sit on and you race ride, and it was $150. I almost picked it up, but I was like, no, I don't have a spot for that.
It's cute.
But yeah.
All right. Come over here and thank once again Drew Estate for making sure that Chief Talk happens every single week. With that, I do plan to have a show next week. As long as I don't wake up tomorrow and have sinus infection, and if I can get it done, if I can get all this stuff done by Sunday, we'll definitely have a show next week. If not, might not have a show. It's going to kind of be in the wind, try to figure out whether or not we're going to do it or not. And then that'll be the last show before PCA. We will not have a show for PCA because I'll be traveling that day. If there's any content that happens that day, it'll be live from my phone, so it won't be like an actual like super broadcast. I'll be flying. I got to fly into Dallas, and then I have a layover in Dallas, and then I fly into New Orleans. I get into New Orleans late Thursday night, late New Orleans time. So technically morning time Eastern time when I get into town. No, it won't be that late because I get in 10:44, so it'll be 11:44 Eastern time. And then I do currently plan on doing some vlog type style videos. They'll be shot on my 16 Pro, so they should be dope. I will not shoot them on my A7 IV. So that'll just be some extra content that goes up during PCA. Obviously, Instagram and Facebook will have some stuff over there. Bob Scruggs going to do some lives. Probably Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, or Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. One of those. He might do all four. We don't know. Just going to depend on how it goes. But again, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I love you all, and we will see you hopefully next week, as long as everything goes well. Peace. Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com. Time to relax.
are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go. Go. Go.